stream. With me is Matthias, one of the founders of LabLab. So yeah, I welcome him to this stream. We have prepared a lot of really interesting stuff today to show you. There are some GitHub repositories, some papers, and some AI models. So yeah, there's really cool new stuff that got released during the last few days. So let's get started right now. The first thing is a shape image text model. Basically, you can go from text to a 3D shape. And this is kind of similar to what OpenAI has also released recently. So here you can see this example, a 3D model table. And you get all these different kinds of results. Then we have a car model. For example, this lamp right here. And this is basically something that is also quite similar to OpenAI's Shape-E, but I can imagine that this has many implications for different creation areas, like, for example, game creation, just in general content creation, animations, things like this.
And how is that? Oh, damn it! I don't know if I'm muted here. Do you hear me, Fabian?
Yes.
Got something with my Discord. It looks like I'm muted. But how does the input image come there? Is that generated or is it like a normal image?
This is also just an image that you can place there. I think it's pretty cool that you can go from also not only text input, but also image input to a 3D model.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the results are quite good. If you actually take a closer look at this, this is really cool. Even things where the image doesn't really show how it looks exactly, the model still knows that it should follow this specific form. Yeah, things like this. So you can check this out. This is also, it's called conditional 3D shape generation based on shape image text aligned latent representation. Let's see if the code is also on GitHub. And it seems like for now there's only the paper released on GitHub. And I'm sure if they already have this GitHub repository, then the code will follow soon.
Nice. Yeah, sorry, I got disconnected for a few seconds there. Okay, but that's really good. Is it like equal to the thing OpenAI have? Is it better? Do we know anything about that?
From these examples that I saw, it's actually a bit better. The OpenAI results weren't really good with a lot of different things. So for example, with Shape-E, I tried also stuff like this, so plants, and sometimes there were just really weird stuff that got generated. And the quality of this is just really amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, okay. Then let's hop over to the next one. This is a GitHub repository / projects. It's called GPT Migrate. And with this, you can basically migrate from one code base to another. So there's a example video right here that does a really good explanation. So you will see that they basically have a project, which is, I think, a Python Fast API. And then with one command and the help of GPT-4, they go from this Python Fast API to some Node.js based API. So let's have a look. So you can see right here, this is the Python project. And now with this one command in the target folder, you can see that basically the entire project gets converted from Python Fast API to just Express-based JavaScript project.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is really interesting, especially rewriting code to say more efficient one also.
I think this is quite similar to what we looked at last stream, this GPT engineer, which can basically generate entire projects. And with this one, you have you can migrate then this specific from Python to JavaScript, C++, whatever you would like.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, this has some limitations if you use like some framework that's only available for, let's say, Python. So it doesn't really migrate the entire code base, but yeah, as long as it's not using any specific library that's not available, this will work probably really well. And I'm sure in the future we will also migrate not only the project that you wrote, but also things like dependencies and things like this. So you can really migrate an entire project with all dependencies to another language.
Yeah, it's interesting there that it seems to run some tests on the code also.
Yeah, I've seen this, that basically this also can translate your continuous integration pipeline and tests, and also ports these tests then over to the new language. And I think that's really cool because this ensures that your application will really run like you want it to.
Yeah, that's really cool. I will test that one out for sure.
Yeah, so for everyone who's interested, it's called GPT Migrate, and yeah, it's available on GitHub. Okay, then the next thing I want to show is actually, let's say, a startup project. And this is a startup project for generating marketing content using OpenAI that implements metered pricing models and metered feature access based on the current subscription. So this is not really a project, or this is not really a new technology, but this is a really cool project if you are building with things like OpenAI. So we can have a quick look at this. So yeah, it has GitHub OAuth login, different pricing models, and all these different pricing models also offer different functionalities in the end in the application. Yeah, and you can just use this template right here, modify it for your own needs. And I think this is a great place to get started with, with your online-based software as a service application with AI features. Yeah, so it's from Tier Run, Tier Vercel OpenAI. Yeah, you can check it out also on GitHub. Okay, so let's jump to the next one. This is an open source model from Salesforce called XGen. Yeah, and this is pretty cool because basically this has 8K input size length. And you also have different models like base and instruct. Yeah, and it's completely open source, so here's the instruction right here, how you can use it. You can just use transformers library, then import this specific model, yeah, and then basically generate stuff really easily with just a couple lines of code.
And is it good at anything specific or?
I'm not sure if it's for anything specific. I think similar to like OpenAI's large language models, this is also tailored, yeah, for just general question answering or general chat capabilities, instruction capabilities, stuff like this. But I can imagine that because this is coming from Salesforce, that we will see this soon in their products, which yeah, a lot of people and companies are using.
Yeah, definitely.
And I've never worked with any Salesforce software, but from what I've saw, like they tend to get a little bit complicated from time to time. And yeah, if we can automate tasks that are complicated for a lot of people, then yeah, we save a lot of time. Yeah, for a lot of companies. Yeah, and I guess we can progress even faster with things like this in general. So yeah, really cool to see something like this. Okay, so the next one is also a research paper called Zero Shot Text Guided Video to Video Translation. So you can also see some examples right here in the background. There you basically have an input video, then you have a text prompt that you also input, and then go to the translated video. So for here, right, for example, we have like these different styles. So here we have Van Gogh and some other painting style. Yes, let's maybe have a look at some more examples right here. So this is the input video, then colorful painting, and yeah, Van Gogh style painting.
Oh,
then anime pixel art. And
that's cool.
the great thing about this is that the temporal coherence. So, for example, with many previous video-to-video things in combination with stable diffusion, for example. We had these fractals, or I'm not sure how you can actually call this, so really bad temporal coherence. And with this one, it's pretty good. So this is basically the old stable diffusion. And on the right side is this new model right here. And you can see that all this flickering is gone. Yeah. It's really cool to see something like this. And there are even some more examples right here we can look at. And because you can input the text prompt, you can also not only change like the style, but also change the actual content of the video. Yeah, and the quality of this is really amazing.
Yeah. And no code released as of now, or how does it look like?
I think the code was released. At least I tested it out on this Hugging Face space right here. And from what I know, Hugging Face spaces are pretty open source.
Okay, so it's available for people to use.
Yeah, for example, right here I inputted this stock video of some beach somewhere with the slide camera movement that's looking over the land. Then my text prompt was anime beach in the summer. And unfortunately, you can only generate 8 keyframes from the video on Hugging Face spaces. But yeah, if we play this, I think the results are pretty good. It's not a high frame rate, but you can already see what kind of quality is actually possible with this, which is really cool. Yeah, and I think this is super awesome for like digital creators, because this really again lowers the barrier to edit videos and things like this.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and so if you're interested in this, everyone can play around on this Hugging Face space. Yeah, it's called Renderer from anonymous sub/renderer. Yeah. Yeah, and if you want to have a look at this paper right here, you can also find this on, it's a GitHub page.
And we will share all these links at the end, right?
Yeah. I will set them in the Twitch chat. Okay, so let's hop over to the next one. And I think this is something really interesting because we have not seen anything like this. So, and this is something really unique. So with this paper, you can go from a 3D mesh to a 3D mesh with textures on top of it. So you can basically scan your room, then a depth sequence gets created. Then from this depth sequence, there are basically textures get generated with the help of an image generation model. And then at the end, you have a full 3D model of a room that had no textures and now basically has textures. And you can also basically guide these textures into the right direction. So if we scroll down here, you can see this. On the left side, we have this mesh without any texture. Then you have the input depth, also again without any texture. And then you can add a prompt. So right here, the example prompt is an office with a computer desk, a bookcase, a couch, chairs and trash can, 2 monitors and a keyboard on the desk, couch is sitting next to the desk. And I'm hoping you can see this on the stream right here, that now we have the 3D model with textures. So we have our couch right here, we have the 2 screens, we have the desk, we have the chair. And yeah, the quality in this isn't really super awesome, but I think still that you can do something like this and go from this textureless mesh into something that actually makes sense is super cool, because yeah, I can see the use cases of this maybe in a couple of months or years, where you basically scan your room first, then go to IKEA with the scan, then you can just input a text prompt, and then basically you get all the products that you need for your room right there on the spot. Yeah, and all that with a single text prompt.
That is very nice. Yeah, it will be okay. Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, as soon as this stuff start to reach like a good performance or quality, it really will become like game changer.
Yeah, I think so too. Unfortunately, the code for this, so they also already have a GitHub repository, and they write code coming early August. So yeah, we should hopefully see the code for this soon. I will actually start this for now and maybe even watch. So, because if something like this gets released, this is really cool to maybe build something then with this.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so let's go to the next one. It's called Real Image Editing with DDPM, Inversion and Semantic Guidance. And this sounds like a fancy name, but what this does in the end is actually the ability to edit generated images. Because previously, for example, with inpainting, we always had to specify which area of an image is basically being edited with a additional text prompt. But with this one, we basically don't have to select an area that we want edited. So yeah, you can see the examples right here. The input images is just these stones at the water. Yeah, and now you can basically add a sea turtle without specifying any place where this sea turtle should be. So this is really cool. Also right here, you can see this dog. Then you place the dog at the beach and then add pink sunglasses, and you can see that this works really well without specifying an actual mask.
Yeah, that's very cool.
I also tried this on myself. So they have this GitHub space. So yeah, I basically just input an image for me and I became GigaChat with sunglasses. Yeah.
Nice.
But super cool to see something like this. And they also have like more examples right here. So
Yeah,
we have this field and we go from wheat to red flowers. Or yeah, the other way around.
yeah, that's a game changer. Also, once it starts working and like at a consumer level, so people can use it for photo editing and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think this will not take a long time because I mean this is already now available for free on Hugging Face with their free compute. So I guess until we have this on our home devices, it will not take a very long time, and we can always do it right now on the cloud. So
Nice.
yes, super cool to see something like this. This also just lowers the barrier for image editing so much.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing is another GitHub repository, which is again kind of similar to the GPT Migrate. So this one is, I think it's called AIDER or AIDER, as a GPT-powered coding in your terminal. You can see in the demo right here that basically you can specify a file and then specify a prompt, something basically that you want to add to this file. So basically right here we have Python, and now we add strong typings to this Python file. I also prepared like a small demo for this. So right here we have just a really minimal file with a Python fast API. And now we can say things like add another endpoint that, let's say, that can handle image uploads and save them to the directory. So let's run this and you will see that an answer gets generated. You see this nice git diff style terminal output.
Nice.
And at the end, this will get added to the top file right here. Yeah, this is basically something that is also doable with ChatGPT or other models, but having this in the terminal actually just makes it way more easier to use, and you don't have to copy and paste around so much stuff all the time.
Yeah, I will get that one. What was the name again?
AIDER, so right here, AIDER. Aider.
There, Aider. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, and I think it's super useful. And now we have our upload file endpoint, which writes to the specific directory.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Okay, and yeah, I hope you, the viewer, found all these projects really interesting. If you're actually interested in this type of things, you can write tutorials for LabLab. So check out our community content repo on GitHub. And yeah, if you're interested in joining hackathons, make sure to check out lablab.ai. We have a lot of events coming up. For example, the Google Cloud Vertex AI Hackathon, which is starting on Friday. So yeah, if you're interested in building with these type of technologies, make sure to join, create your team, and have a lot of fun during the weekend building an awesome product.
Amen.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, then
Cool.
I hope you
Yeah, a
enjoyed the
lot of
stream.
cool stuff. A lot of stuff this time.
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of
Lot
stuff
of
you can really already use. So
Yeah.
that's nice to see.
That's great. So do we maybe we can post on also LabLab Twitch all the links to the stuff. So we just like we can if we don't have, we can create a channel like AI news new in AI.
Yeah, sounds good.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Fabian.
All right, yeah,
for
then
this walkthrough.
thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you again on Friday. So yeah, have a great day and see you soon.